And in these times, as we all are in a very similar journey together, and I really appreciate, again, you all taking the time to join us this evening. So in the absence of all being together physically, we hope to make this as engaging and effective for everyone, whether you're familiar with Cleantech Open, interested in learning about Cleantech Open, or really interested in getting to a deeper knowledge of the program and what we're offering for 2020. So happy to have you on the call. The way that today will work, or this evening will work, is we'll go through, hear from some key partners that helped bring this event and our other events to life. Then we'll go into what the Accelerator program is all about, some of the key and fun aspects of the program and how we operate. And then we'll hear from our esteemed alumni companies. On the call today, we actually do have both the national runner-up and the national winner for 2019. Both of those teams do hail from the Northeast. So we're proud to have them and offer their insights to you all about their experience with Cleantech Open, as well as to give you some information about their companies and how they're operating today. So let's get started. So our Cleantech Open team that consists of myself, I'm the program manager. We have Beth Zonas, who you heard from briefly, and many of you know of or know personally. She is our regional director here in the Northeast. Rounding out our team, we have Dominic, who is our program coordinator. He joins us from Northeastern, although most recently he's back home in Chicago. So he is operating on Central Time there. It is now my pleasure, while we're not physically at Greentown Labs, I'd love to welcome Cayman Somerville, who's the Chief of Staff there, to say a few words about Greentown Labs, how they work with startups, innovation community, and how right now they are powering through, and also the longstanding partnership that we have with Greentown Labs. So with no further ado, I'll turn it over to Cayman.
Thanks, Trisha. Hi, everybody. My name is Cayman. I am the Chief of Staff here at Greentown Labs. For the past 3 years, I've been fortunate enough to collaborate with Cleantech Open through my work in helping startups join and become members of the Greentown Labs community. And so who are we? We are a community of bold and passionate clean tech entrepreneurs who are really creating these game-changing technologies to try to change the world. We're located in Somerville, Massachusetts, and we were founded in 2011 by 4 clean tech entrepreneurs. And today we've scaled our community up to be the largest clean tech incubator in North America. We operate a 100,000 square foot campus that enables more than 100 startups to solve the world's biggest climate and environmental problems. And so how do we support these members? We do so by helping them accelerate their technology development through our access through our community, through a robust partner network, and a curated set of programs, resources, and tools. So each member company gets access to more than $1 million in resources, and this spans across software tools, legal counsel, machinery, electronics equipment, manufacturing, and much more. And part of our offerings, which is really exciting, is the access to the flexible and affordable prototyping and wet lab space for rent. So members are able to utilize these resources to scale from initial kind of R&D to rapid prototyping and up to commercialization. We also frequently host a variety of events and programs to help foster these meaningful interactions between member companies in the greater Boston ecosystem. So these kind of trickle down to 2 to 3 events per day. Now we're doing them virtually to try to keep those kind of running and going. But yeah, I mean, startups typically participate in programs like Cleantech Open and working on their business plan, getting access to mentors and resources, and they're really ready for Greentown once they've built up this working prototype and they're kind of focusing on the commercialization efforts. And so since Cleantech Open is so complementary to Greentown Labs, many of our members have gone through the program, and Cleantech Open actually has offered a scholarship for Greentown membership in the past few years, selecting 2 startups. Actually, this is supported by the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, who you'll hear from next. But these 2 startups are selected to receive funding from Cleantech Open and Mass CEC for up to 5 months of incubation. And right now, one of those companies who's taking advantage of that is the AeroShield Materials, who you will hear from later on tonight. So they just started this month, which is exciting. The last thing I just want to make a pitch for, my colleague Sam is here in the audience. Sam Crump, he's our new member recruitment coordinator, and if you'd like to learn about joining, he has time to do virtual calls over the following weeks, since we're all being kept indoors. So give him a shout. He'll drop his contact information in the chat, and I will as well. And I hope everybody enjoys the night.
Thank you so much, Cayman. Really appreciate it. And again, while we can't be at Greentown tonight, we're bringing the energy that Greentown provides us to this evening, and look forward to being able to continue to partner in events at Greentown. If you haven't been, are so fun. They're so engaging. They're all across the board. So definitely check out Greentown if you're interested in attending an event in a little. All right, so next I'd like to introduce from the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, Galen Nelson, who's the Director of Market Development with Mass CEC, to say a few words about Mass CEC and the incredible work that they do to support the innovation in clean energy sectors.
Great, thanks Tricia, and good afternoon to everyone, to you, to Beth, the entire C-Tone team, and thanks to Greentown Labs for virtually hosting. That's probably a new thing, right? Virtually hosting an event like this. So I'm going to be very brief. Really just want to touch on a couple topics. Mass CEC funding opportunities for clean energy startups. And it's unavoidable, but just touch briefly on the unusual circumstances that we all find ourselves working in right now. So first, Mass CEC is extremely pleased to support C-Tone as the region's flagship clean tech accelerator. And when people talk about this region, about Massachusetts, about the Northeast, and what a great clean energy and climate solution powerhouse it is, they often talk about the startup community, investors, our great research institutions, and no doubt that those are core components of our ecosystem. But what is often, I think, misunderstood, mostly by folks from outside our region, or underappreciated, or both, is our rich network of accelerators and incubators such as Greentown Labs, North Shore Innoventures, and others. So if the startups represent the rich, diverse biome of our in our ecosystem metaphor, then our accelerators and incubators are kind of like the life-giving, rich landscape that keeps those entities healthy. And Mass CEC is really proud to be a steward of that landscape. Second, just on our funding opportunities for startups, some of you are aware of them, but just to quickly recap, we do have an array of competitive grant programs for clean energy and climate solution startup companies to help them gain their footing and to help all of you accelerate toward commercial success, from our Catalyst program that provides up to 14 grants per year at $65,000 each to support development of initial prototypes, to Innovate Mass, which provides grants up to $250,000 a year to support critical demonstration projects, to Amplify Mass, which provides grant funding, matching funds to Massachusetts-based entities that are seeking typically federal or other third-party grant funding, and to our seed and equity investment opportunities. We're really here to help you succeed, and you can find a lot more information about those different grant and funding opportunities and investment opportunities on our website at masscec.com. And then finally, I want to just acknowledge the situation we're in, and I think, Tricia, you did a great job of framing it out. Innovation certainly is kind of a high point, a bright point for all of us, and we're obviously working under unprecedented conditions. And I think we've all been flooded with COVID-19 advice, so I'm not going to go there, but certainly observe that fighting this novel coronavirus and fighting climate change, there's some common threads there, and I think it's worth observing just a couple quickly. And one is certainly that both will require innovation with regard to technology, whether it's the technologies that you're all developing or a new vaccine, innovation with regard to the way we communicate with each other, the way we deliver products and services, whether they be climate solutions or medicine. Some of you may have heard that Massachusetts-based Moderna Therapeutics, a pharmaceutical company, is actually developing a vaccine for this novel coronavirus right now here in Massachusetts. I think we're all very proud of that. And I think some of you may be interested to know that Moderna actually installed an energy storage system that was supported by all of you, by the ratepayers of Massachusetts and Mass CEC last year, which I like to think helps them focus just a little bit more on their core mission. So our sector really does impact every other sector, and you're all trying to develop solutions for a much more slowly moving threat, but nonetheless an existential threat to our planet and our species. So thank you for all of your creativity, your innovation, your dedication. Stay safe, and we here at Mass CEC look forward to working with all of you and our partners at CTONE as you realize your projects and your technologies.
Thank you, Galen. Powerful words, I think, and much needed reassurance in the times that we're in right now. So next, I'd like to introduce Sven Harmsen, who is the Director of External Ventures at Saint-Gobain. Well, again, we're not in person for this event. Sven and his company were instrumental in making sure that this event was supported, and just want to extend a huge thank you to them for continuing to support Cleantech Open events and the interest that they have in supporting our overall direction of innovation. So Sven?
Okay, I hope you can hear me. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you for having us. I think it's a real pleasure for us to support this event, and actually Cleantech Open. It's a nice initiative, a nice set of events to bring the whole innovation community together. Not only at Greentown Labs and not only in the Northeast, but now obviously also virtually, which is a nice thing. I really I'm disappointed that we cannot be at Greentown Labs because that would be the right venue for this event. And like we are a sponsor of this event, we are also a proud sponsor of Greentown Labs. And this explains why we want to be part of this community. Maybe a few words about Saint-Gobain for those of you who don't know the company. We are about 350 years old, a materials processing company. We started out with glass, and glass is still a big part of our business. But nowadays we have more than 40 billion in revenue, in mainly for industries like building and construction, but also automotive, aerospace, life science, and some other fields. I'm part of an organization that's called NOVA, and NOVA is the face or Saint-Gobain's face to the startup community. That means we are working with startup companies, want to support them. We consider to invest in them, and Greentown Labs is actually one of our centers where we are close enough to the startup world. We have a wet lab there, we have a library there where we can show our technologies to startups. We have office hours there to work and discuss with startup companies. So that's the right place. And I'm really looking forward to learn more about some of the startup companies presenting tonight. And I don't want to spend more time here just by saying, enjoy this unusual format of a conference. And if you want to learn more about Saint-Gobain and NOVA, feel free to reach out to me and to the team. Thank you, and have fun tonight.
Thank you so much, Sven. So what we'd love to speak to now, and I will introduce our Regional Director, Beth Zonis, to say a few words. As the Cleantech Open Northeast, we are a regional chapter, and our affiliate organization is the Northeast Clean Energy Council, which is headquartered in Boston. And to speak on behalf of NECEC, as well as our program sponsors, here is Beth Zonis, our Regional Director.
Thank you, Tricia. And it's so great to see all these wonderful people on our call today. Everybody, I think, realizes how important the work is that we are doing here. And I just wanted to reiterate that the climate is not waiting for us to figure out what to do about coronavirus. They still needs us, and it's really important. So to give you a quick overview, I don't know how many of you realize that Cleantech Open is a national program, and here in the Northeast, it's run by an organization called NECEC, which is the Northeast Clean Energy Council. And the Northeast Clean Energy Council, briefly, is a two-part organization. One part is involved with policy and works as a trade member organization for representing a whole lot of clean energy companies at the various state houses around the region. On the other side of the business, it's about innovation, clean tech innovation. And we have Cleantech Open, which is a big program, obviously, accelerating clean tech startups, and then a follow-on program called Navigate, which works with startups that are at the stage of looking for funding, especially in that pilot seed Series A range, and they advise startups and set up investor connects for them as well. We help them get ready and prepare all of the business background for the startups to be even ready for working with Navigate. So next slide, please. So you all should know that we are a nonprofit and we do not take any equity in any of our startups. We are sponsored and essentially almost fully covered from a revenue perspective by the sponsorship funding that comes in. So at a national level, we work with Wells Fargo. We are one of their community partners with their program that is in collaboration with NREL, the National Renewable Energy Lab. In the Northeast, our two largest sponsors are MassCEC, and you heard from Galen Nelson, and NYSERDA, which is the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority. And between the two of them, we are really focused on working to bring green jobs to the whole region, but specifically Massachusetts and New York have a big push here, and really helping to solve the whole region's issues from a climate and clean energy perspective. Other sponsors who are notable, we have a few law firms. We work with Foley Hoag, with Sunstein. We also work with MITS, and you'll see Canada in there. So Canada is sponsoring us, and we do expect quite a few Canadians to participate this year, as they did last year. And then there are some corporations who work with us and who obviously work directly with the startups in a similar way to what Sven described as what Saint-Gobain does with their NOVA program. So we work with Chubb, with Schneider Electric, and with Constellation. There are a number of other organizations mentioned at the bottom of that sheet, of that page, which are what we call in-kind sponsors, and those are organizations that are providing products and services directly to our startups. So lots of opportunity for the startups when they come through the program. Okay, back over to you, Tricia.
Great, thanks, Beth. So how you stay connected with us is right here on this slide. Everyone who attends or registered for the event will receive a copy of both recording of the virtual kickoff, as well as a copy of the presentation slides. So all of these links here do not go to waste. But just to give you a sense of how to stay engaged, how to learn more, and to continue to interact leading up to our application deadline, or just in general. So our website is that big banner there up at the top. Coming up tomorrow, actually, we have a Portland virtual kickoff. So we are gathering the main base or the main region together that is not to exclude everyone. In fact, now it becomes much more of an inclusive event now that it's virtual. So feel free to register. And again, you'll receive this follow-up information if you want to join us for another virtual kickoff to hear a little bit more about our main community and our network up there. We also have 4 national webinars. So as a national program, we have a national team that oversees all of the various regions. There's 6 different regions of the program, the Cleantech Open program throughout the country. The national team will be holding 4 recruiting webinars primarily for startups to learn about the program, what they can get out of it, and ultimately to help them make the decision on whether or not they want to apply for the 2020 cohort or for a future cohort to participate with the Cleantech Open. Another plug, but it is relevant, particularly now as we see a lot of our lives becoming more virtual. By following us, the Cleantech Open Northeast or the Cleantech Open or any CEC, you can stay abreast with the most relevant news and breaking news, if you will, about our upcoming events, application, and various programs that run, again, through the Cleantech Open as well as through any CEC. So what is the Cleantech Open? Ultimately, we're getting to the question and helping those who are not familiar with the program and those who would like a little bit more depth on what we're all about. So proud to say that in 2020, this is our 15th year of operation. We are the world's oldest and largest clean technology accelerator. We're really proud about that title. We take it seriously and want to continue to provide the utmost in terms of caliber of an accelerator program for clean tech startups. We are a nonprofit, as Beth mentioned. We're comprised of over 1,000 volunteers, from judges to mentors to hosts and everything in between. We have 6 regional U.S. organizations. We do represent the Northeast, and we will show you the breakdown of what the comprised Northeast is. And overall, we do have a lot of events, activities, and programs. One thing I do want to note that recognizing the times that we're in right now, when social interaction and events are not as plentiful, and at where we're at right now, they're actually being restricted. Our program, both on the event side as well as the actual accelerator program, has a very robust and always has a virtual component. So the ability to take it online and to be able to participate remotely is something that we have always taken seriously and will ensure that continues through 2020. So we are confident that the program will be able to operate with very little disruptions to our general programming, and certainly no disruption to the quality and the content that the program has to provide. So the Northeast is defined to us and to our region as the New England states. So for those New Englanders, that's Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Connecticut. And then we also include the tri-state area of New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. As of 2019, we opened up our borders to include and welcome in Canadian startups. That's based off of a growing partnership and a flourishing partnership with the Canadian consulate down in New York. So we have been proud to be a bit more international in the Northeast, and certainly recognized the color that the Canadians brought to our cohort last year, and looking forward to continuing that partnership in 2020. Moreover, if you are a startup and you're looking at the Cleantech Open and considering what is clean tech, this is our very general overview of how we define clean tech. So born out of a little bit more of a focus on energy generation, distribution, storage, and efficiency, we've since expanded over the years what comprises clean tech. So now we have a pretty robust definition where we believe that clean technology is in all of these sectors. So beyond just the energy focus in green buildings, transportation, agriculture, water, waste, chemicals and advanced materials, and information and communication technologies. The program itself, so as I did mention, there are many components to it. This highlights the key and arguably the instrumental portions of the program that make our accelerator what it is. The Cleantech Open is an annual program. We run starting with June through the first week of October. The program itself, there are 4 main components to it. we have a training aspect of it. So that's when we're really actually working with the startups, us and moreover, the experts and the mentors that we bring into the program. The training is provided in the form of an online curriculum that guides weekly assignments and 8 essential deliverables, which we'll define in just a minute here. But that training is really for entrepreneurs and their startup teams to get a sense and to develop their business on a fast track. It's looking to get a lot of information, soak up a lot of information, regurgitate that information, and ultimately apply it to the development of their business. So in addition to the online curriculum, we supplement the information that the startups need to continue to develop their business with business clinics. So those will focus on various topics that are complementary to the online curriculum. They'll be provided either in person or virtually, as well as to address the regional aspects of the participants. So in past years, our clinics have been offered in both Boston and New York as a way of making sure that startups have at least 2 options in which they can attend those clinics, and to really augment the information that they're learning through the online curriculum, but also to add on to it through the perspectives of the experts, the mentors, and the other participating startups in the program. The other key piece of the Cleantech Open Accelerator is the mentoring piece. Mentoring comes in several different forms, but primarily it is through each startup being matched with up to 4 mentors that are specifically matched based off of the startup's needs, the focus and expertise of the mentors themselves, as well as their location. So more often we try to make sure that there are mentors that are local for the startups. Some of the Canadian startups are not quite always as lucky, but try to get them to have mentors that are within some sort of travel distance, so there can be some in-person meetings when planned. Our mentors work with their matched startup throughout the duration of the program. So that relationship is a very important one, and it is essentially not only to help the startup thrive throughout the course of the program, but so at the culmination of the program, they've also been able to leverage that relationship for the future development of the program, as well as what we've seen the startups to maintain and grow those mentoring relationships even beyond the accelerator. The showcasing piece of the program, this is really important, obviously, for the visibility, expanding your network and the relationship building that you and your startup are focused on in your development journey. Showcasing is more than just, our standard showcases, which we have a culminating showcase as a part of our regional finals at the end of the program. Then there's also a national showcase, but also the press exposure, the promotion that startups have just merely with their involvement with the program is another ability for your startup to have a platform, not only to promote themselves, but since there is a focus on development, to be able to expand the network and get into the eyes, ears, and minds of those who are key to the continued growth of your startup. And finally, the access to capital. So our program really aims to position startups to not only have access to that capital, but be prepared when those funding opportunities arise, and the different funding opportunities that can arise throughout their startup journey. That comes in the form of strategic investor meetings that are held at the culmination of the program, as well as the continuous involvement, again, of building the network, pitch panels, networking, and the development of business deliverables that you can continue to use as communication and promotion of your startup for those funding opportunities. So in our online curriculum, it is a key portion of our program. It ultimately asks startups to produce 8 essential business deliverables. These deliverables are not meant to do anything other than you help your business in the course of its development, and to have the tools and the resources that you've developed not only internally, but with the insight, the expertise, and the feedback of your mentors, experts, and also from the program itself. So you'll receive multiple avenues of feedback on these deliverables. So essentially you'll have well-rounded materials that you can continue to evolve well beyond the conclusion of the accelerator program. To give a sense of what our program schedule looks like, we do kick off the program with a 2-day intensive academy, which is a series of workshops, speakers, panels, and engagement opportunities. This year, our academy will be an online academy, so it does open up the opportunity where you're able to participate from anywhere in order to join us for this 2-day kickoff of the entire program. Following the Academy East, startups and their mentors dive into the online curriculum, and towards the end of June is when the business clinics will start up in both Boston and New York, and they will again help to support the information and the work that the startups are doing through the online curriculum and through the program. The Northeast program does culminate on October 1st and 2nd with the regional finals, and this year it will be held in Boston, Massachusetts. We have the regional finals actually consists of 2 components. So I mentioned previously that there is a showcasing opportunity, but also all of the regional startups will compete against one another in a pitch contest. The top startups will then pitch, be selected from the first day where all startups in the cohort are pitching. And the second day, the top teams in the Northeast will compete against one another. And we will select the regional finalists. Those regional finalist teams will move on to a national competition, and one startup is selected as the overall national winner. I did mention previously, and it's always worth another plug, that on this call today, we do have the 2019 national winner and the 2019 national runner-up who will be giving you their insights, and you'll hear a little bit more about their companies and get a sense of the type of startups that we work with throughout the program, and of course, 2 of the standouts from our cohort in 2019. On the end of October, from the 27th to the 29th, in conjunction with the Verge conference, will be the Global Forum, which is the national competition for the Cleantech Open. So all of the 6 regions' top teams, top startups will come together in San Jose, California, and compete for that national title. When you are applying to Cleantech Open, it is what we wanted to do is provide a little window into what is considered in your application and how we ultimately make the decision of accepting startups into this year's cohort. So there's 3 main areas that we look at: the market that you've defined, the solution, and the team that is presented in the application. So there are key aspects with all 3 of these that we consider. They're not mutually exclusive from one another. We do look for them all to have something strong or something tangible that we believe can be developed throughout the course of the program. We focus on an early stage pre-seed funding startup demographic. That's not to say that if you have started accumulating a little bit of funding, that you would not be considered for the program. But what we do by defining that early stage is that we make sure that the program aligns with the point in which you're at your development. So you can really use all of the tools the program has to define in order to launch your startup to the next stage quickly, effectively, and thoroughly. So the next 2 slides, I'm obviously not going to read them. They're meant as little highlight bubbles for you to see just, and this is by no means even a fraction really of all the amazing accomplishments that our alumni companies have succeeded in since finishing the program. So they range from acquisitions to capital raise, to profitability in annual revenue. You can see that there are, they come from all different years, as far back as 2011 on this slide. And then moving over, you'll see a little bit more of a current, but still, since the past 5 years, just a few highlights of our alumni companies there. Again, not only just in money raised or revenue, but also in large awards like the IN2 award that AeroShield, who you'll hear from, was a recipient of. So this is meant to say that our alumni companies, there's not one single direction that companies have after they complete the program. They will continue to develop, and we support our alumni in that development even throughout or following the conclusion of the program. So now it is my sincere pleasure to welcome Elise, who will speak about AeroShield. AeroShield was the 2019 national winner for the entire Cleantech Open program. And here is Elise to tell you a little bit more about AeroShield and their experience in Cleantech Open.
Great. Thanks, Tricia. So happy that we could make everything happen tonight. So super excited to be talking with everybody. So I'm CEO and founder of AeroShield, and what we do is we make porous glass insulation for drop-in manufacturing of energy-efficient windows. So in today's homes, I mean, we're all confined inside, so we all know right now exactly what those indoor environments are like and how crucial right now windows are a part of our buildings and our day-to-day life. But they're actually one of the biggest pieces that are responsible for high energy losses. And in fact, buildings in North America are more than 40% of our greenhouse gas emissions. And $20 billion in energy is being lost to these windows that we have in our buildings that we absolutely need. And so AeroShield's solution is to take a porous form of glass in which we've taken glass and we've trapped air inside of it, that we've engineered pores to be so small that you get a super insulating material that has really high clarity. And so we're working to be able to manufacture these large sheets of super insulating glass so that we can sell them directly to window manufacturers to be able to really change an industry and reduce energy losses of our windows by up to 50%, but with a payback period that's less than 5 years for consumers directly. So our ultimate goal is to be able to change our buildings to prove that sustainable, cost-effective materials are achievable. And so that's AeroShield's mission. And so when we started in the Cleantech Open, it was really more of an idea. It was my research out of MIT, my PhD topic. And so we knew the technical side of things and what we might have to achieve. But going through the Cleantech Open program really brought us together, gave us that fundamental framework of understanding where we were, where we wanted to go, and most importantly, the tools of how to get there. So one of the biggest things, I can't speak enough to the amazing community that the Cleantech Open is, both in the Northeast, but also the national program as well. Tricia and Beth have been just fantastic, and it really has changed the trajectory of AeroShield to be able to go from this, kind of idea to having tangible goals, milestones, resources, follow-on funding, things like the IN2 program, being a part of Greentown Labs. None of those things would have been possible without the Cleantech Open. So really happy to answer any questions, but can't recommend the experience enough.
Thank you so much, Elise. And to follow on to that, and a separate introduction, of course, with our 2019 national runner-up and a Northeast finalist team from Flux Marine. We have Ben Sorkin, who will speak about their experience in Cleantech Open, but moreover, provide an insight to the cool things that they're doing at Flux Marine.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tricia. We also have Dalen here in the background. We're on our self-isolation. Hope everyone else is doing well at this time. But yeah, so Flux Marine was started to electrify the marine industry. We see all these efforts in the automotive world to electrify cars, but then you look at boats and the technology really hasn't changed in the last 20 years. And boats are a lot worse than cars when it comes to pollution. For example, boats don't even have catalytic converters. So for every gallon of gasoline burned compared to a car, you're releasing about 165 times as much cancer-causing particulate matter. So there's a huge issue here on the environmental side. And on the technology side, there's a huge gap and opportunity in the market to bring a solution to the marine industry that is no longer a compromise. When you think about an electric boat, you think about a small trolling motor, something expensive, something slow. We really are developing a product that is scalable to higher horsepower ranging, zero maintenance, and high performance. So an electric motor that you can go skiing off of. If you want to learn more about Flux Marine, definitely reach out to us, check out our website. But we're really here today to talk about the Cleantech Open and what an amazing experience that's been for us. To start with, the curriculum of the Cleantech Open is fantastic, very thorough. You can come in with just an idea and you can bring that all the way to something amazing. Or you could come in with a lot of experience, a company with a little bit of revenue, a little bit of traction, and still get a lot out of the actual curriculum. But what was the biggest impact for us was really the people, the family that we created and found through Cleantech Open. Working with Tricia, working with Beth, the introductions that they were able to make would really, really impacted how far we've come. When we started the Cleantech Open, I had a full-time corporate job. 3 weeks ago, I quit that corporate job. maybe I should have held on a little bit longer based on what's going on. But we were given the introductions and the opportunities where we were able to launch our business far enough to make that jump, to make that leap. And the people they introduced us to, especially the Mass CEC, was a huge factor in us being able to commit to this full time, as well as, you know, the legal connections, Foley Hoag, Sunstein, very appreciative of everything they provide there. So I don't want to take up too much time, but overall, the Cleantech Open doesn't provide just a curriculum. It provides a family that's here to support you for the entirety of your venture.
Thank you so much, Ben. And thanks again, Elise. Those are strong, powerful words. And as we always say, you know, our alumni speaks louder and wiser than we ever could about the program. So we appreciate you both taking the time to share your insights and your experience with everyone here this evening. So in the fair nature of startups and hearing from startups, so you just heard from two of, I'd say, you know, the strongest pitchers that have ever gone through the Cleantech Open, and their titles say that for themselves. However, now we'd like to hear from some of the startups on the line. So if you have signed up to pitch for this evening, this is when we are going to hear each startup. We'll call you up in your order. You can unmute yourself. We encourage you to show your video, show your face, so we can put a face with the business. And you'll give your 1-minute pitch. So key thing is to introduce yourself, your name and the name of your startup. I would recommend, as a means of memory, is to repeat the name of your startup at the end of your pitch as well, if you have time. But at exactly 1 minute, we will move on to the next pitch. So we've never done this in a virtual stance before, so we're really excited to take this. And it almost is in the context of you have 1 minute on a screen share to pitch to an investor or to pitch to an audience in this case. And so make it your own. Tell your story, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. So I'll turn it over to Beth now.
Yeah, so thank you, Tricia. So what I was going to say, I want to read off the list of companies that I just took down. And if you didn't see the note I had posted in the chat, and you do want to pitch and we don't have your name, please add it to the chat, but I'll list the ones that I have. I've got ARC Industries, Buzz Button, Flight Material Sciences, Muon Vision, Organicin Scientific, Path to a Green Home, Polycarbon, Sustainable Structures Group, Thiazen, and Umlauf. If there's anyone else, please enter your name and your company name right now in the chat box, and we will include you. So here's how this is going to work. I would advise anybody who's going to pitch, first of all, we should have everybody who's not speaking be on mute. I think they are. Once you are ready to pitch and I call your name, please turn your microphone on and your video on. I also would recommend that you have your own 1-minute timer to make sure that you stay to the 1 minute. I will time you as well, and I will let you know when you're done. I don't want to interrupt you to tell you how much time you have left. I want to just let you do your thing. So, so is there anybody else who wants to raise their hand in addition to the 10 that I just listed? So we've got 10, so this is going to be fun. Okay, and I should tell you that that there is an opportunity for you to win a discount off of your application fee. So the People's Choice, so everybody stay on and you'll get to pick which one you like best. So pay attention, everyone who's on, and we will listen to the startups in alphabetical order as I just read them. So ARC Industries, that would be Robert. Are you able to come off of mute and show your video?
Yep, I think, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. I'm not sure if you're, there you are. Okay, some people may need to scroll down in order to see you. So I'm actually going to turn off a few other people's videos so that they are not in the way. So maybe people can see you this way, I don't know. Okay, so when you're ready, take it away, Robert.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rob Monteith. I'm founder and CEO of ARC Industries. And we produce, design, and manufacture small vertical access wind turbines that can be deployed in urban and suburban areas. Right now, we're in our alpha production phase. We're starting to scale up from prototypes, and we're looking to deliver to higher education markets initially, and hopefully scale up to full commercial after that. Our turbines are very unique in the respect that they operate at ultra low wind speeds of less than 1 meter per second. And we have active and passive wildlife deterrents, such as bird and bat avoidance systems. Our units are able to not only produce electricity for a business, but also are able to give you enough power to power a conventional house. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Your timing is perfect. So thank you very much, Rob. It's great to hear the progress that you've made since we last saw you. And for those of you who don't know, Robert participated last year in our development program in Cleantech Open. So good to see that you've made some progress since then. So next is Buzz Button. I believe that that is Eli Silvert. So Eli, whenever you're ready, go for it.
Thank you. Hi, so my name is Eli Silvert, and I'm a senior at Brown studying materials engineering, and I've recently started a venture called Buzz Button. So according to a Pew Research Center study, 5 billion people in the world own mobile phones, which have proven to increase literacy and social and economic power. However, millions of these people do not get these benefits because they do not have access to the electricity necessary to charge their phones. Several peers and I are working to address this problem through Buzz Button. Our goal is to ensure that everyone is able to charge their electronic device, whether it's a mobile phone for people in developing regions or a camera or GPS tracker for backpackers. The Button Spinner toy is inspiration for our low-cost human-powered energy generator. We're collaborating with Manu Prakash, a professor at Stanford, who first took advantage of the toy's high angular velocities to make a handheld centrifuge. We're optimizing our adaptation to produce 20,000 joules of electricity, enough to fully charge an iPhone 6 in under 10 minutes. We're planning to use a buy one, give one model to bring this simple and inexpensive device to people living in developing areas and backpackers. So thanks for listening, and please reach out to me or my team at Buzz Button if you have any insights or questions for us. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Eli. It's great to hear what you're working on. That definitely sounds valuable for, I'm sure, a huge population. So nice job. So next we have Flight Material Sciences, which I believe is Dan Cohen, all the way from Montreal.
That's right.
So, or in Montreal, I shouldn't say from Montreal, because you haven't moved anywhere.
Right. Well,
So,
we're not going anywhere anytime soon, it seems.
exactly. All right. Well, when you're ready, go for it.
Thank you. So every industrial product in the world fails when the surfaces are challenged. And this is true for aircraft that ice up and pipelines that rust and a catalog of cases for dozens of industries. And in spite of spending $160 billion a year on products and maintenance, the expense and loss and damages are often catastrophic. The problem is unsolved. So at Flight, we apply a patented laser technique to sculpt structures at the microscopic level. So our structures can repel water or oil that can replace coatings. And this new method improves the material at the microscopic scale that leaves a permanent, durable surface that cleans and protects itself. Our technique can be applied to metal or glass, plastic, ceramic, and sensors, and the lifetime of products are greatly improved, and we avoid using billions of liters of toxic chemicals for protection and cleaning. I'm Dan Cohen, the founder of Flight Material Sciences. We're a Techstars company, and we make everyday materials extraordinary. Thank you.
Wow, fantastic. And your timing is perfect. You're right on cue. Thank you. That's really interesting. And just a quick comment that you may want to look up one of our alumni who could potentially partner with you. So if you haven't heard of QuatCare, they went through the program last year, and they're doing some work in the automotive industry, improving what is it exactly? It's they are in New York City, and they are improving the microbial, what's the right word? Anyway,
antimicrobial.
Antimicrobial, thank you. For and the one application that they're doing is automobile paint jobs, which is reducing the water and waste that goes into that. This is a little bit different, but there may be some synergies there, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing your application and the others as well. But that one has a direct correlation to, it sounds like, to what we're doing. Happy to chat later. Yeah. So, okay, so next up we have Muon Vision, and that is Tancredi Botto. Tancredi, are you able to turn your system on so we can see you and hear you?
My system is on, but my video has been stopped by the host.
Oh, okay. So let me see if we can fix that for you. One moment, please. Start video. Okay, now are you able to?
I'm able.
Okay, there you are. All right.
There you go.
Good to see you. All right, let us know when you're ready.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Hello and good evening. My name is Tancredi Botto, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Muon Vision. We all want to decarbonize the economy, but do you actually know how copper is produced and extracted? About 20% is produced via heap leaching, a process wherein an acid solution is percolates through a very large stack of crushed mineral ore. This step comes after a very large energy expenditure for mining, transporting, and crushing the ore. At the end of the day, the recovery factor is only 60% at best, which means a sizable amount of valuable copper is left behind. Muon Vision wants to introduce the first digital X-ray service to better manage these assets non-invasively, in situ, and at scale. We do that by using Muon radiography. That is right. Our X-ray source is actually cosmic rays coming from the rest of the universe. Our goal is to increase the recovery factor for heap leaching by up to 10%, which would result in net savings of 2 million metric tons of CO2 per year, 6 million metric tons of water, and $2.4 billion worth per year. Muon Vision is in its early stages, and we are bootstrapping to build our first prototype.
Wow, that's really interesting. So I'm trying to think of some things that that could be relevant for you as well, Tancredi. There are definitely some people who've gone through our program who've worked in mining before, so there may be some folks that we could put you in touch with as you progress your startup. That sounds really cool.
Thank you, that'd be great.
Nice job, yeah. So, okay, let's see, Organocin Scientific. That would be Griffin. There's Griffin. Okay, hello. Griffin, let us know when you're ready.
Awesome, yeah, good right now.
Okay.
Hi guys, so my name is Griffin Driscoll. I'm a co-founder of Organocin Scientific. So achieving sustainable agriculture requires practices that result in healthy, disease-free plants, providing enough food for a growing global population, and limiting the impact of agriculture on the environment. And currently, one practice that limits our ability to achieve the sustainable agriculture is the use of antibiotics, copper compounds, and harmful pesticides as a method to control plant pathogens. And so our solution is a biopesticide. It's a highly targeted, highly specific antimicrobial that could significantly reduce the environmental impact of pesticides in agriculture, while also increasing profitability by lowering crop losses and increasing crop yield. And so our protein-based drugs, which is the main ingredient in our biopesticide, they're cheap to find, easy to scale, sustainable. They're biodegradable, non-toxic to humans, plants, animals, bees. They don't destroy the soil or plant microbiome, and best of all, the bacteria do not develop resistance to them. So awesome, thank you.
Wow, and your timing is perfect. So thank you, Griffin. You've been practicing, nice job.
Yep.
I think it'll be really cool to see how that something like that could be rolled out and more people could be organic in this in agriculture. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see, who do we have next after? Oh, we're trying to be alphabetical here. So we've got Path to a Green Home. I believe that's Dean. Do we have Dean Berg on?
I have audio, but I think
there you are. Okay.
so it looks like you need to
I will.
Turn on my video.
All right, you're on. Yep.
Is my video on?
Not yet. You need to.
Oh.
You need to hit a button. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Welcome back. Yes.
All right. Hi, everybody. Dean Berg, Path to a Green Home. Cities are setting their carbon neutrality goals as we speak. They're realizing that their residential sectors account for 60 to 85% of their carbon emissions. Cities are challenged with how to engage their residential community to be more energy efficient. To trigger a behavioral change, the average person requires 7 or more touch points. So how do we do this? We're taking an innovative, novel approach to this age-old problem. We go to them. We engage the resident via the device that they hold in their hand the majority of the day, their mobile. We're building an app based on a behavioral science that engages the resident daily and reinforces key sustainability messages from the city. The app will also include a reward system coming from local green businesses completing a circular economy. At net zero cost to the city or resident, the city has the connection that can lead to a 30% reduction in emissions from the residential sector. Thank you, Dean Berg, Path to a Green Home.
That is really cool, Dean, and it's great to see that you've changed your pitch a little bit since the last time I think we heard you. So nice job. And I would say that there are definitely some connections that we can help you make in Cleantech Open as well. There's a lot of people who work in both the energy efficiency side, and we've had some startups who've worked in the kind of the point system type of business as well, which it sounds like there may be a hybrid there. So I think lots of opportunities to help you out.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, okay, so next we have Polycarbon.
Hey, can you?
There you are. Okay, good to see you.
James O'Brien, co-CEO of Polycarbon. So this year, the U.S. will pay $3.6 billion to dispose of 12 billion pounds of regulated medical waste. And within this waste stream is an estimated 3 billion pounds of scientific plastics. Because these plastics are single-use, virtually 100% are either incinerated or buried in landfills. In accordance with state and federal law, all of this waste has to be sterilized prior to disposal. Thus, the 3 billion pounds of plastic contained within the U.S. regulated waste stream is eligible for recycling and worth as much as $600 million a year just as scrap. So Polycarbon is a software-enabled sustainability company extracting valuable plastics from the regulated medical waste stream of today and turning them into the laboratory products of tomorrow. We give scientists and clinicians the ability to recycle their scientific plastics by using a customizable diversion bin and reinforcing recycling behavior with our waste analytics platform. By diverting this plastic from landfills and incinerators, Polycarbon is creating the first circular economy within the health sciences. So James O'Brien, medical student at the University of Pittsburgh.
Wow, thank you so much. I am really interested in this. I am constantly seeing in the medical setting, this is a really huge problem. And I'm glad that you're addressing it. It makes a huge difference. And you should be aware that pharmaceutical companies care about this, and the medical industry cares about this. So we're happy to help you make the right connections after you apply, and hopefully we'll get a chance to work together.
Yeah.
So nice job. Okay, next up we have sustainable structures, and that would be Jim. So whenever you're ready, Jim, go for it.
Okay, hi. Our technology aims at eliminating fossil electricity by 2050. There's enough offshore wind energy to green the grid tenfold, but the electricity from expensive offshore turbines is uncompetitive. We're trying to cut the cost of offshore wind electricity in half. 33% of that cost is from the turbine. Our patent-pending lightweight structure eliminates 2/3 of it while retaining standard blades. 25% of that cost is due to difficult offshore maintenance. We hope to eliminate most of that with swap-out replacement, allowing repair in port. Unlike current offshore turbines, our design can be built and installed by many existing businesses. Driven by renewable portfolio standards, there's potential for sales of $40 billion per year. We'll demonstrate the concept soon through research grants and impact investment. We then hope to partner with a manufacturer of wind turbines to prove it in commercial service. By the way, to stay on track, we most need a CEO.
Okay. Well, maybe in the process you'll find a CEO. That's definitely possible. You're definitely in a field that is really important, and you're in the right neighborhood. So in the Northeast, we're all working on. I mean, every state is working on offshore wind, and so it's a very timely solution. So looking forward to getting a chance to work together. So next up we have Thiozen. I believe that's Ajay.
Hey, can you guys see me?
No, but let's see if maybe, no, we see a gray screen. I'm not sure if that's my fault or yours.
I just hit video. It says start video.
Okay, give me a moment. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not on my end, the video problem. Well, you can pretend you're on the phone and just give us your pitch orally that way.
No worries. Sounds good. My name is AJ. I'm an MIT MBA, along with my co-founder, Ryan, who's an MIT Chemie PhD student. We are Thiozen, and we generate low-cost, low-carbon hydrogen gas for oil refineries. So when we think about fuels such as diesel fuel or jet fuel, not only are they incredibly carbon intense, so is their production cycle at an oil refinery. And during Ryan's PhD program, he discovered a way to take oil refinery trash, hydrogen sulfide, and turn it into a really valuable oil refinery input, hydrogen gas. And that turns out to be incredibly environmentally and economically attractive. Environmentally, we reduce the carbon footprint of an oil refinery by 25%. And an investment in our technology boasts economics of a $24 million NPV and a 32% IRR. Right now, we're producing liters of hydrogen gas with a lab here at MIT. We're looking for about $2.5 million in investment and funding, and more importantly, a partner at an oil refinery to provide us with 1 ton of hydrogen sulfide per day to validate our technology at scale. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ajay. That's really interesting. It will be very cool to see what the, to see the impacts of this as you move forward, and to see if there are ways to convert some of these oil refineries to use more, more sustainable solutions like hydrogen. So that's pretty cool. We do have a number of oil and gas companies that are with whom we collaborate. So there may be some connections that we can make. And I have a counterpart in Texas who obviously could perhaps help with those connections as well. So yeah. So Zaire with Umlauf, are you able to turn on your screen? There you are. Okay, yeah. Go for it.
Hi, hello. Okay. Hi, hello. My name is Zaire, and I am a founder of Umlauf. And did you know that 92% of Americans find the process of recycling more difficult than doing their taxes? Or that even all-star recyclers struggle that, well, their materials may be accepted at work, they may be rejected at home? Well, we are Umlaut, and we have developed a mobile app that helps consumers sort their recyclables at hyper-local level. So users just scan the barcode of the product, and the app will tell you precisely where to dispose it. It as well helps you to track your footprint and win some rewards. So users that are using Umlaut divert up to 80% of their recyclables from the trash, and more importantly, they keep clean their recycling stream. So you can help us reach and accelerate to reach more consumers and have a greater impact.
Wow, good job. So thank you for that, Zaire, and really interesting to hear about recycling. We all often wonder, what is the right bin to throw something in, and will it actually get to the recycling place that we want it to, or is it going to be diverted to a landfill? And knowing that somebody like you is working on that is very helpful. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is everyone who pitched. We had some great pitches. You all have been practicing, I think, since the last time we heard you. So Nice job. And also great to hear some new ones that I hadn't met before. So Trisha, are you able to flip the switch to the next screen? Okay, so here's what happens next. So we're going to ask you all to open another browser. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on your computer, and enter sli.do on your screen. And when you get to that screen, there's an option that says enter your code. The code is capital C, capital T, capital O, 3. And then you will see the list of the startups, and they are listed in alphabetical order, in the order in which they presented. Hopefully you have a sense of which one you like. The guidance that I can give to the audience is just to select your, oh, Dan is saying that CTO3 is showing no such event right now. Are you able to confirm that, Dom, that works? Let's see.
It is working for me. I'm getting some votes.
Okay, so sli.do, and it says enter event code, and you hit CTO3. Okay, try again to whoever that was who said it didn't work, and you should see them, see the choices here. So pick your favorite, and we'll give you a couple of minutes to make your choice. So when you pick your choice, you just need to hit the green button at the bottom to log your choice. So if you are having trouble finding the voting, you go to sli.do and then enter in all caps CTO and then the number 3. Glad you like them, Bernie. It's good to see you on. Were you able to find that, everybody? If there's somebody who still can't find it, just enter a comment in the, yes, the code must be in all caps, CTO, and then the number 3. Does anyone still need some time? Just enter a comment in the chat, or if you are still having trouble getting to that page. Okay, we'll give you another few moments here. Sorry, did somebody say something? All righty. Everybody all set?
Yes.
Okay. So so let's close the voting. And Dom, would you like to, or maybe you're gonna tell me who it is.
All right. I think I just saw it come through. So the polls were very, very close. Which is no surprise because I didn't personally vote. I'd have a tough time, but the winner is polycarbon.
Fabulous. That's so cool. Congratulations, polycarbon. So we will be in touch with you and we will give you a code so that you can get a discount off your Cleantech Open application.
Wonderful.
So yeah, so you're all set with that. So great job. And thank you, everybody. Really, really great pitches. Really interesting variety of solutions, and I think they all have potential to make an impact, which is really what it's all about in our world here. So I want to thank you all. And Trisha, if you have any other comments before we close.
Sure. Well, just to echo Beth, thank you everyone for bearing with us with the technical issues that apparently were unique to the GoToWebinar platform. So thank you for helping us work on our toes there and be able to pivot and make this a way of bringing us all together virtually for a kickoff that extended far beyond Boston. I'm sure we're reaching many tiers of Massachusetts and potentially beyond. So with that, we'll leave you with the link to apply if you're interested in the program. That link will also provide more information about the application process in general and any questions about the criteria or the eligibility for your startup. I think just given the time and the delay in startup, if we might have time for a few questions if you wanted to raise them or type them in the chat box.
Yes. Does anyone have any questions? We're getting a lot of thank yous. This is our new normal, folks. the virtual events, and we're in fact planning to hold pretty much the entire program virtual, and hopefully we will be able to emerge from our cocoons at some point before too long. But we are prepared to do it all virtual, at least for the foreseeable future. So thank you everybody for pitching. Really exciting to hear the pitches, and thank you to our alumni, Ben and Elise, for telling us your stories as well. Really, really great to hear what you're up to at AeroShield and Flux Marine. It looks like we are pretty good. People are sending comments, but no questions. So glad you all joined, and we will be in touch. And the application is open. We will have some national webinars if people want to participate. We will send you all more information about how to apply, and you're welcome to join other webinars or reach out to us if you do have any other questions. So yes, Andrew, I will answer your question. So thank you everybody for your participation. I guess we can sign off.
Yes.
So have a wonderful evening, and stay safe and be well, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye all.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.